Hello, everybody. Welcome to Horror Movie Yearbook. I am Tim.
And I'm Willie.
And we are joined by...
a very special guest.
Nicki!
That's right. My lovely wife is here.
That was so well coordinated by us. We did that. We were throwing to each other.
I know. We were just talking about weird Hollywood relationships seconds before we recorded this. Yeah, so we are joined by Nicki. We are talking about... We're doing our second, I guess, entry. My goodness. In the first and last TV series thing we've done.
You gotta come up with a name for that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I think we just call it first episode, last episode.
Yeah.
That's pretty lame.
Yeah.
I think we can do better than that.
I'm not posting this until tomorrow afternoon-ish, so if you got any ideas before then,
Yeah. We'll call it What the Hell Happened. We did, you can find our previous entry in this series. We did The Walking Dead, the first and last episode of that series.
Which prompted you both to rewatch.
Rewatch the entire series.
Yes.
Which, it is what it is. And what's fun about this one is we're doing True Blood.
Yeah.
Which I have not seen.
We talked about this. We mentioned this last.
We've seen moments. Tim and I both.
We've seen select scenes from
True Blood that we sought out.
Yeah.
But not. I have not seen an actual narrative moment of True Blood until this project.
I think I may have seen probably 15 consecutive minutes of it when I was waiting for nudity to pop up.
Sure. Yes.
This would have been channel flipping.
Yes.
And going oh, True Blood's on. I bet you that has some nudity in it. And then waiting to see.
And then just.
And then most episodes
it paid off, yeah, which is great. That's True Blood is nothing if not consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're discussing the first and last episodes of True Blood. It's a 7-season series. One of the early HBO hits, if I recall correctly, when they were starting to do their.
It came a little bit after. I think.
A little bit after the early ones.
Yeah, this was.
Yeah, I guess this was post Oz and stuff like that. Yeah. But a big hit for HBO, based on a book series. Yeah,
the creator of 6 Feet Under.
Yes, absolutely. Another big HBO show.
Another wonderful.
Have you watched 6 Feet Under?
Yes, I have.
A couple times.
I've watched it a couple times. I don't know if I actually finished it all the way through the first time or not. I can't remember. But then there was years in between, and then I think that I picked it back up and watched it from the beginning.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong. You were watching them on DVD the first time you watched it. This is back when we were popping in the disc. I changed to disc 3.
Yes.
And then you went back. I don't even know that you had the last season available to you.
Yeah, that's probably why I didn't watch it. And then and then I did rewatch it. I don't know, a couple years ago. Yeah. And then watched it, on a streaming service beginning to end.
Right.
Now that one might be a really great one. Have you guys watched it?
I have not seen any 6 Feet Under. No.
I've not watched the whole thing. I've watched episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that might either be, and I'd have to think about this, would be a really great one to watch. First episode, last episode, or might be a really bad one. I'm just trying to think because the last episode is really special. I remember I never finished it, and I was working at the video store. And one of our old assistant managers finished it, and she told me the ending of it. And I was really pissed at the time.
I would be.
But then, thinking back on it, it really wasn't a spoiler. It is a spoiler, but it wasn't a spoiler. And it's a really special kind of final episode.
I'm familiar with what happens.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much, but my understanding is that the show kind of sets up why the ending is what it is anyway, so it's pretty straight. For that show, it's straightforward, is what I've heard.
But yeah, I mean, I might even, if you guys were interested in something like that, because I mean, that's not horror necessarily, but it's dealing with death and blah blah blah, and
it's adjacent maybe,
and paranormal.
Tiny Terror though too.
That's true. That's true. That's easy enough.
Yeah. But I could rewatch the last episode to see if it would be, or both episodes just to see if it would be worth your time, because I have a lot more time than you guys do.
We're gonna have you do that homework for us. And report back.
Yeah. Yeah. Because the last episode is really freaking cool, but I don't know if it would be good for like this format.
Complementary to
this format. Like,
well, I'm not so sure this one is either. We'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Okay.
But so real quick before we get into the meat and potatoes here, let's just of course, as always, please email us horrormovieyearbook@gmail.com. We are on Instagram.
Your best bet is to email it.
Just email us, yeah. We're on we have a YouTube channel that you are.
We do, if
are always adding
someone who may be listening to this, maybe like sometimes I like to throw on YouTube while I'm like cleaning the house or chasing my son around and like throw it on and have it going on as I listen to it. So if you're someone who does that, check us out on YouTube. You can listen to it. I upload the episodes.
There's a lot of bonus stuff on YouTube too that you've done.
There used to be, yeah.
Okay. It's still there. It's still there, though.
Yeah, I was doing like those weekly release.
No, I'm just saying it's still there. Like there's extra content that you can access.
But I guess I should give people a heads up. Like that's going to be very tough for me to do with everything going on outside of this podcast. I just don't have the time right now. So
I don't know how you had the time when you did. Congratulations.
I probably shouldn't have. Let's move on.
Right. But yeah, and of course, check out if you want to be part of our discussions online and be a part of our Discord. You can do that by accessing
patreon.com/MidwestPodNet.
That's right. I always throw to Tim for that one because he knows. No, seriously, we have some really fun discussions, some really lively stuff. Our latest Tiny Terror was inspired by one of our conversations that we...
the Monroeville Mall.
That's right. So check that out. Anyway, all right. True Blood.
All right, True Blood.
Tim, you have seen what you just bits and pieces.
Joking.
You've seen bits and pieces.
Even more.
I too have seen bits and pieces. Let's kick things off. So we
first
watched
episode, right?
First episode. Let's talk about the first episode real quick.
And Nicki, chime in whenever you feel as if you Have you recently rewatched this episode or the show, right?
Yeah, feel free to jump in. This is a weird episode of television.
Yeah.
And here's why I say that. So it's typically with shows, when you got a pilot and you've got not just a show that is like a sitcom, right? Like we're talking like a show that has kind of lore built into it. Yeah. You've got a very wide-ranging cast of characters. You're establishing the setting. You're establishing all these characters and how they interact with each other in their lives, so on and so forth. And you've got this extra element of like setting up a world in which like the vampires are just out in the open. That's kind of an interesting concept for vampirism. We see them oftentimes like hiding in the shadows and stuff like that. Not all the time, but like this is kind of uncommon for vampire lore to have them just kind of out and about.
Yeah, I really like that, actually.
It's great. I love it. But this is a tough thing to establish in an hour of less than an hour of television.
Right.
And so I think that I admire the fact they're able to pull it off what they are in this first episode in terms of like, okay, I get the world by the end of it. That being said, it's a weird episode. Like, I can't tell you by the end of this first episode, is this show a black comedy? Is this like a drama? Is this a horror show? Is this like more romance leaning? Like, it's such a weird hodgepodge episode for a first episode of a television show.
This show came out around the same time Twilight was kind of big, right?
This was during the vampire resurgence. Yeah, This was kind of vampire, like this, like the Twilight vampire, like so the romantic vampire, but like for people who wanted to see boobs and blood.
Yeah,
for grown ass men and women.
So here's what I'll say about the first episode.
Yeah.
Hey, us women like that too.
That's right.
Very much so. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
This show, a very horny show throughout.
Very horny.
Yes.
A very horny first episode.
Vampires are horny, though.
Vampires are horny, and this gets that. But then it ends. I had never it was kind of it ends with a woman just being beaten brutally in the parking lot.
It's kind of weird, right?
It's like I was sitting there going like, oh God, I feel so like this whole episode I'm getting all riled up by these vampires. And then they're all fucking bummed out at the end. They're like, oh, I don't need
somebody's beaten in a parking lot.
Yeah, I don't need this. I was raised Catholic. I already feel that way half the time. Feeling bad.
Yeah, you almost feel guilt for having watched being weirdly turned on by what you're watching.
Feeling like that. I don't like that emotion.
Yeah.
But, so it's a fun episode of I asked my wife, I'm like, you ever seen this? And she's like, I tried to watch some of it, but I couldn't get past the accents.
Sure.
And I remember, so
That's fair.
I went to, about 10 years ago now, I went to New Orleans for the first time. I've been a couple times.
WrestleMania, right?
Yeah, and my brother and I went, and we were waiting for a buddy of ours in the airport. His flight was like an hour behind. And we rolled up to the bar to order a drink, and this woman had like the thickest Louisiana accent. Like we could not understand a fucking word she was saying. And I'm like, this is amazing. Like she sounded like the water boy coach.
That's cool. Yeah.
Like this is amazing.
Now, is there a difference, because I don't know, about New Orleans accent and like a Cajun accent?
So there's variations on the New Orleans accent.
And I don't actually know if like a Cajun accent is like a politically correct term. I have no idea.
I think you're okay. If you're not, then it's not you're not trying to be offensive. My understanding, and I could be mistaken, and if anybody is listening from that area of the country, please chime in, help me out here. There are a few different kind of New Orleans accents. Mm-hmm. There's kind of the standard Southern accent, right? Mm-hmm. They kind of want the generic that you hear in all the movies that all the actors use. That just sounds kind of like you're from the South, okay? Mm-hmm. There's Cajun, which is, my understanding is more of the rural white accent. Yeah. And there's Creole, the Creole. Creole is a language, but there's also the Creole, there's an accent to it too, which my understanding is it's more the rural black population. That's my understanding.
Well, and it's all funny because a lot of it stems from French,
yes, absolutely, yes.
Anyway, so so this first episode, it starts with a hand job, which is I don't know how many shows I've ever seen that start with a hand job.
It actually starts with it. I can't remember that part.
So it's an HJ in the car, right?
The only other show I can tell you for a fact that starts with a hand job is The Americans with Kerry Russell.
So that starts with a hand job?
If it doesn't start with it, it's very early on, because I remember thinking, oh my God, this show started with Kerry Russell giving an HJ to a Russian guy and then sticking a finger in his butt.
I remember.
Nice.
Yeah, that show gets Russian because one of our coworkers came in one day and was like, they did this. I think they 69'd on.
Yeah, there's a lot in The Americans.
There's a 69. Yeah. I've never seen a 69 seen on basic cable.
Yeah.
Now, do you know...
That didn't have in Felicity.
No, it didn't. Wow.
Now, do you remember who gets... The HJ, is it Jason?
Yes, it's the brother.
It's the brother.
It's Sookie's brother.
That makes sense. That's what I was thinking.
He's kind of goofing around with she seems like maybe she's a married woman or something.
Because she's the one he's goofing around with the whole episode, right?
And he's like, I ain't paying you.
Yeah, and she's like,
yeah,
and she's the one that's having sex with. She has the bite on her inner thigh. Too,
yes,
right?
and he's turned on by that. But kind of.
Okay, yeah. I remember.
But she gets
killed. I remember now. I should have rewatched the first episode.
You're fine. It's funnier this way. She gets killed, and then
it's funnier that you're going to remember everything else.
Yeah.
And then, maybe he did it is the big, did he kill her?
Oh, she's Maudette. Yeah, she is married.
Maudette.
I did take notes on the first episode, and then I attempted to take notes on the last episode. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
She's a fang banger, is what they call it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they use
I like
that
that.
term,
I like that though.
They use that term throughout the entire series.
Fang banger,
you're just like a fang banger.
Well,
this is a sassy show too.
It is. The writing's actually pretty strong, honestly. It's the dialogue's good. It works for me. I didn't dislike the pilot, but it's definitely it's whiplashy.
Did you have your favorite characters?
Out of the gate, no, I don't know. No, not really.
I have a.
I do have one.
Lafayette.
Yes.
Is terrified of the pussy.
He's the best. That guy rules.
Yes. Does he have a bigger part in the show?
Yeah, he does. Okay. So
tell us about Lafayette.
So I will just say I didn't realize until I was rewatching the series, and I was at least halfway through towards the end. I looked up something, and then I was like, wow, this is based off of a book series?
Yeah.
I had
called
no idea.
Sookie novels or something.
Yeah. And so the differences in the books, I think Lafayette and Tara, Sookie's best friend Tara.
Tara's the friend who winds up working at the bar, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she gets fired in the first episode.
So she dies at some point between pilot and finale because they have a weird flashback with her in the finale. I don't want to get too much into that, but like there's a flashback that seems like it's kind of like sad that like they're
but Tara and Lafayette are cousins.
Okay.
And in the book, they don't have as big of a part, but they did make them a bigger part for the show. So I would say
they're both a lot of fun to watch.
They're still like an ensemble character, but I would say that they're like borderline like main characters, or like throughout some of the show they are main characters.
Their roles
and then they
more,
kind of like depending on storylines, kind of back off a little and that kind of thing.
They're kind of classic supporting characters.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. But they both do have like very important points throughout the show.
Okay.
So.
All right. I like Lafayette. Does he find love?
He does.
That's all I care about.
Didn't you pay attention to the finale?
He was at the table with everybody, and it looked like maybe there was a guy standing next to him.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. And that makes sense.
Could be a pal. I don't know.
Because who he ends up with is not in the
I did not recognize
it was not in the pilot.
No.
So
no.
Nor
were like half of the characters in this finale, by the way.
No, that's true. But like, yeah. We'll talk about that later.
So let's talk finale then, right? Are you good on the pilot?
No, well, let's keep talking. There's more that happens in the pilot.
Right, so here's what I'm going to do here is because I think we did this how we did it in The Walking Dead. I've got the characters.
Yeah.
I've got the main group. I'm just going to and you can throw out your thoughts on them.
All right.
In the first
all right, that's good. I like that. Yeah.
Sookie.
Sookie, I'm not a big Anna Paquin fan as an actor.
Was she in the Bird movie?
Yes, Fly Away Home.
The one that Jeff
Daniels.
gave me a VHS
that was
of.
a great movie.
It was not him.
Was it not? Who was it?
No, we don't know.
Wait, what?
Somebody left a VHS copy of Fly Away Home on Tim's desk.
Yeah. I thought it was Kevin. I thought it was like
He's like, it wasn't me. I don't.
I mean, I wish I would have. Like, that's a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, but I guess. But were they trying to like leave me a message?
Is it a threat?
Go home, fly away, bird.
I will talk to him.
Go back to where you belong.
I will talk to him, but he told me it was not him.
I still don't believe him.
No question though.
It's the clamshell one too.
Yeah.
Like, why would anybody like even have a thought to leave that movie on your desk?
I'm not a particular. I remember kind of liking.
Like,
it
did you?
But
did you ever like talk about anything like Anna Paquin? Any actors? Any?
I think this is maybe the first time I've discussed Anna Paquin outside of maybe like talking about like X-Men.
Yeah, right.
Weird.
That's the big one.
I did not know that story. That's wonderful.
Anyway, Sookie. Sorry.
No, I mean, look. I'm not a huge Anna Paquin fan in terms of. I find her kind of wooden.
So does Bill, though.
Yeah, Bill gets wooden around her. But I mean, I don't know. She's fine. She plays this character, and I think it's intentional. It's kind of like touched. Like there's kind of a.
She's a bit of an airhead.
Yeah.
She's very like aloof.
Yes. Oh, but almost like. In the pilot, I'm like, this is our lead. Like this is the character we're going to follow through this. And you can see like the character. By that finale that we watched, certainly gains more confidence and more assertiveness, and like grows as a character. It seems like, but this pilot, I'm like, really? This is the.
And I will say that
all right.
It is that way for a while. Where and like I even thought that like on my rewatch, where I'm like,
she's playing this.
This
strange,
is how she starts, like, and she
yeah.
is very, very much. I don't know. Like
I don't even know.
Like. Right before the pilot started, she just escaped her basement after years of captivity.
Yeah, yes, like Room. Like she's been like stuck in a basement for like years, and like just came out in the real world.
Yeah. She's Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. That's what she plays it like.
My
yes,
God,
that's a
so
perfect
good.
example. I'm glad you guys went there because that is exactly what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Like, she plays the character like she hasn't seen the light of day in a while. Like she's like a week into the real world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, a little strange.
I want to say this about Sookie is her power, and they do give her a power early, like right away, and it's mind reading.
Yeah, with no like lead in.
No, they throw
you in the deep end in this pilot. Yeah.
No, but I kind of like that.
I do too,
no,
yeah.
It's cool because like let's not spend a season developing this shit. Let's just get to it. But it is a little bit whiplash when you're used to shows these days, like kind of having to like
lead in,
bottle feed you into like yeah.
But so this has never been my favorite superpower. I actually hate it as like a superpower, like, when, like
telepathy.
Telepathy.
Yeah.
I don't like because like most of the time you're reading someone's thoughts. I guess you have to actively do it. Is the idea? It's like you have to actively go like I'm going to read your thoughts because like it
seems like it's a mix of that for her, right?
No, I think for her is she can hear everybody's thoughts. She has to actively not.
Okay.
So for her, it's
that sounds awful.
And she touches on that like throughout the series and stuff like where like she can just she's in a restaurant, she can hear all the noise on the outside.
Yeah, they show that
all the noise on the inside. Yeah, and she can't shut it out.
But she cannot hear vampire thoughts, correct?
Correct.
Or is it just Bill?
No, she cannot hear vampire thoughts.
Can she hear like werewolf thoughts and stuff too?
Yes.
So vampires are off limits.
Vampires are off limits.
I just curious.
And so that's what mostly draws her to Bill at first, is that the fact that
she doesn't know what he's thinking at all.
She doesn't know. Yeah, there's just silence, and that's really comforting to her. But she and they talk about it where like her friends and stuff throughout the series are like, "Stop listening to me," and she goes,
they do
"I'm
that
sorry.
In the finale. Yeah,
I'm not trying to," kind of thing. And she has to. It seems like it takes effort for her.
Okay.
So they do. So like one of my problems with that power though is like it's a tough power to like capture like in reality, like to think about in reality because like I think about my own thoughts and I'm like, oh my god, no one's reading how stupid these are.
What's funny is most of the time, most of the time though, like I'm sitting here listening to you talk, right?
Yeah.
I'm not thinking of anything beyond what the words are coming out of your mouth. So it'd just be me repeating the shit that you're saying, basically.
Right.
Yeah, because my brain
I think he does a good job of capturing the guy that's like being really creepy to her.
That's true.
Yeah, because that's
true.
What that gentleman probably would be thinking. But
true. He seems like a little bit, a little thirsty.
A lot of what she does here is unpleasant.
Yeah.
So
I will say she does have a line that I think, and I'm curious if like this continues throughout the series, but she talks about how judging a group of people on the action of a few is more morally wrong. And I didn't there are seeds of like what this show could be about or what it is about, which is like, just kind of a underrepresented community, kind of a put upon community. I'm thinking like the gay community or the black community, and how it, like vampires are supposed to represent that as outcasts and everything. And like, does the show continue to do that? Like, is that something that is like,
is there any social commentary,
like a theme throughout the show? I'm curious because like you do get stuff in like the credits. There's a part that says like God hates fangs. That's obviously
right
about
it's
the
Westboro
Church.
Yeah. I would say so.
Okay.
I'm just like trying to that's a heavy question.
I guess the question even if it's not like a major plot point, is that do you feel that kind of throughout where like it always feels like vampires, despite the fact that there's probably some good ones and some bad ones, just like people. Does it feel throughout the course of the show like they are like judged and like immediately like kind of cast aside?
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Regardless of their...
And they try, and then there's like some of them that try and do things like Bill is very much, like at least, I'm just going to speak towards like the beginning.
Yeah.
And not like just, obviously everybody has like an arc throughout. Sure. But like in the beginning, he does not like drink human blood. And so he's just drinking the true blood. And he's kind of against that. And he tries to...
He's a pacifist vampire.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then there's other ones that aren't, like Eric in the beginning.
Who's
and
Eric? Oh, Skarsgård.
Skarsgård.
Okay, he's not in the pilot at all.
No, he is not. He doesn't show up. I'm not even sure if he's...
first season?
I'm not even sure he's in the first season. I think he shows up in season 2.
I always assumed he was like right out of the gate.
Yeah,
like part of the,
and I was kind of surprised by that too on my rewatch. How long it takes him, but he is definitely like when you first see him, he's running like a vampire nightclub, Fantasia.
That's perfect.
And
they like Fang. They like to use Fang.
I like that.
But yeah, so like that's where you see him. He's sitting on like a throne on stage, and like there's humans who are the Fang bangers. They're with the vampires, and and they're feeding on them and stuff like that. And I guess, yeah. Yeah, without getting too into it.
So let's talk about Bill then in the first episode. So if I kept watching the show, I bet you I would be more drawn to liking Eric than Bill. I think Bill, what a fucking dork this guy is.
He's a bummer.
He pulls the Cusack move too. He does the whole standing outside the window.
He does. Where's the boombox? Yeah. Where's the boombox?
So, I don't know. He's like too broody for me. I don't like this guy. I don't like his whole deal. And then the last episode, I'm like, oh my god, just kill this guy already.
Yeah, somebody, please. I'm about to.
Yes.
No,
Eric seems like much more fun.
He's sweet. So
he is, and he has like much more of he has a better story arc throughout the series, I would say.
Okay, Eric does.
Yeah.
So there are kind of two. There are two kinds of male vampires. Vampires tend to be male in a lot of vampire lore, which is interesting. I've always thought. I always thought female vampires are way more cool than male vampires. But whatever. Anyway, so there's two types, right? There's the brooding kind of like, I'm cursed with his existence.
Yeah.
And I'm sad all the time, and I hope something can rid me of this horrible, And then there's like the ones that are like, fuck it. Like, let's have a good time. Like, I'm going to live forever. Like, yeah, it kind of sucks, some of this stuff, but like, let's party. I like those ones.
But there's so, Nikki, I'm actually going to recommend the show to you if you haven't seen it. The new Interview with a Vampire series.
I've heard it's fantastic.
No.
Yeah, I think
I haven't even heard of it.
The first season, I think, is on Netflix now. It's an AMC show.
Oh, okay.
But Lestat in that is like a mix of both, where he's like kind of broody, but he's also like
I like that though, because the thing is like in those moments when you're by yourself, you'd be kind of like, this sucks.
Yeah.
Like, God, I'm living still. Like, this blows. But like as soon as you get around other people, you're like, let's go. Like, what kind of crazy shit can we do tonight? But that's why I'm always like in terms of vampire movies, shows, whatever. I like Lost Boys. I like Near Dark. I like Fright Night. I like the vampires that kind of celebrate their vampireness, not the ones that are like. So yeah, Bill's a bummer.
All right, so
but he does say "suke."
It's okay. Well, we talked about Maudet. Sam, he's like the dude that has like a crush on Suke.
Yeah, I don't know. He seems like he's in the friend zone for the rest of the show.
He's been friend zoned, right? Yeah. Jason is the brother. He kind of looks like. Does he wear a puka shell necklace at any point in this?
I'm sure he wears.
I wouldn't be surprised.
He kind of looks like he's in one of those like 2000s like kind of like. He's got like an acoustic guitar. He looks like I don't want to say not Jason. Who's the Ryan Cabrera? Or
he tried out for American Idol at some point.
Yeah.
Unsuccessfully.
But like he was definitely one like they talk about. He was like a football star.
Yeah.
He was super popular, and then but like not
not bright.
No, not at all.
He spends most of the first episodes having sex with Maudet.
Which, hey, good for him.
He spends a lot of the series having sex.
That's a theme. Okay.
Yeah, he does.
Even his last moments in the finale are like the reveal that he has like 7 kids.
Mm-hmm. And like before the finale, he had 0 kids, so that's a lot. Yeah, I don't even think that enough time passed. I swear, I remember kind of scratching my head where he had like 3 kids in the finale, but I swear it only time jumped 3 years. But he obviously had a child.
No, I swear to God, it says like a couple years later, and he's got like 4 kids, and I'm like, that's not possible.
But
unless he banged other.
No, but like he it seems like he's with somebody, and it's that person, like, and so like and so like that person that he's with in the finale, he got together with like starting in like one of the previous episodes. Yeah. So like it was in the last, like you saw her. It wasn't like without. Like,
yeah, I don't know. It seemed impossible.
But it seemed impossible.
But if anybody can pull it off,
it's
Jason.
And neither one of them have powers.
Well, I don't know. He might have powers. Sounds like he's got some powers.
He does, but like not of like the.
He had super stamina from what I've seen as a 40-year-old man. How does anybody do that?
Yeah, right. Like, how are you not unconscious? Can I ask you one question though that I want answered? Because this was one of the lingering ones from the pilot. Mm-hmm. That obviously I didn't get an answer for. Who killed Maudet? Because it's very obvious it's Jason, but it's not. Like, I don't think, right? Because he seems pretty okay at the end of the show.
So I don't know if. So I do know who the killer is. There's actually a serial killer,
Oh.
But
Okay.
I don't know if you see this person in the first episode. Let me look it up real fast.
Oh, this would be interesting.
But okay, so the original pilot, and then
there's 2 pilots on IMDb. It's very confusing.
Okay, so
just
which
click
one
the
should
second one?
Okay, like episode 1,
Yes.
Strangelove. Okay.
Okay,
let me see real fast.
Nikki's looking that up. Let's continue talking.
All right, so so we kind of talked about Tara and Lafayette here. The only thing
I like them both.
Yeah, I like them both. It's hard for me to. I don't want to judge them too much because we only get to see a little bit of them in the first episode. They feel like characters I would grow to know more about.
Yes.
And that's how they're designed. So I don't want.
Lafayette's immediately. I'm
Can
like,
I ask a question?
give me more of this guy. Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, please
Absolutely.
do.
Was Bill Maher in the first episode?
He was. So at the beginning. They cut to his show, his real-time show with Bill Maher.
That's right.
And they're
Okay.
talking
That's
about,
right.
like he has
I forgot about
he has
that.
a guest on, and they're talking
Wow.
about like how
How
it's,
random that-
It's part of the exposition. Well, it's an HBO show. So.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
that's
true.
right. Okay.
Yeah. He was on real time at the time,
Yep.
right?
Because I'm looking at this cast and I go, I don't remember him.
He doesn't have an HBO show anymore, does he?
He does. Yeah.
He does still? Wow.
Yes.
But yeah, Tara's fun. I like the sass.
Yes. So yes, I like both of them. I have written down Andy. I don't remember who that is. I have no notes on him.
And Andy is the sheriff.
Oh, Sheriff Andy. He's on The Wire. He's from The Wire. I remember from The Wire.
Yeah.
I like him in the finale. Do you know why?
Why is that?
Because every time he addresses Bill, he goes, "Hey, Vampire Bill." He calls him
Yes.
Vampire Bill
Yeah,
every time.
Yes, he
It's
he does.
so funny. That tickled me to no end in that
Okay.
finale. Vampire Bill, come on in.
So I'm pretty sure you don't see the serial killer in episode 1.
Okay, but it's a serial killer who murders her. Okay.
It's a serial killer who murders fangbangers.
Okay.
And Jason, not being able to keep his dick in his
Likes to
pants,
bang fangbangers.
It just bangs anything.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of fangbangers because, like, I'm pretty sure, I'm not totally positive. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do think that he might be the serial killer might be in the first episode. I just skipped past him because he looks
Do you have
different
a
in his
picture of this
IMDb picture.
gentleman?
His name is he's going by a different name, so I don't know if
Okay.
it actually shows. So his name is Renee.
Okay.
This is
Oh, he's the dude with the really thick Louisiana accent that's in the bar.
yes.
Yes, the one who's like.
That's
remember when
him, but it's hard to tell there. Hold
Okay.
on, let me try and find.
Remember when like she's like, "Hey, why didn't you tell me my brother got handcuffed today?" And there's 2 like dudes chilling at the bar.
Yeah.
One of those 2 dudes is the serial killer.
Okay.
Yes, and so his name is Renee, but he that's what they call him, but he has a different name, and that's a fake accent.
All right,
And but you don't find out for a while.
it's a thing. Okay,
But yes,
All right.
and I think like maybe his sister or something got like murdered by a vampire, turned into a vampire, something like that. There's a lot of prejudice against vampires
So he
now that they're
kills
out in the
fang
open.
bangers.
Yeah,
Too. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But he ends up like killing like 3 people that Jason sleeps with, and
So
so
it
they're
becomes a
like,
whole-
so like yeah, like Sheriff Andy's like,
This is awesome.
you know, like stop lying, like you're killing them. And like you can get high on vampire blood. You can like, you know, so there's a lot of people that take V, and
V is vampire blood.
yeah,
You get high. Okay.
you get like super high. I feel like without really knowing, it's kind of like heroin. I would feel like where you get like in
You
this
nod out.
and you're in this like euphoric state kind of thing, and
Interesting.
and you do see a couple of like Jason and somebody else like taking V, and you can see
I've
their
seen a
actual
scene.
trip.
It's one of the ones that I.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's the
That I
one.
look-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you know what I'm talking about.
but like
Seen it.
but like so, you know, I think he was on vampire blood or passes out, or she was, or somebody was passes out, and then he wakes up and then they're dead next to him and he has no recollection.
okay.
He goes, "Did I kill her?" Like that's kind of
Maybe
thing.
he
Like
tripped out.
he has
and-
no
yeah, okay.
idea.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
The last character. There's one more character I want to mention from the
Yes,
first episode.
please.
Arlene. She
Arlene.
Is, Arlene. So she's played by Carrie Preston.
Wife of Michael Emerson.
So yeah, she's on Elsbeth. I really like Elsbeth. It's
yeah.
like a show. She plays like a. She's not a detective. She works with the NYPD.
Okay.
And she helps them solve crimes. It's a fun it's a CBS show. It's a fun
Okay.
case of the week. But Michael Emerson actually showed up on that show. They're really married, and he plays Michael Emerson just like a creep. Just like a creep that's trying to bring her down. And it's really funny. But
she played his mom on Lost.
Oh, did she? You're right, she did. Oh yeah. But I like her, and I like her in their short little bits. In this, I saw her, she reminds me of Reba a little bit.
Yeah, she does. She's good in the finale. She's good in she's fun.
Yeah.
I like her.
No, she's good throughout the whole show.
She seems like levity.
Yes.
Yeah.
I will say she's got real bad luck with love throughout the show.
Like
hey, her second or third husband, like she had been married, she's got a couple of kids at the start of the show, and I think her first love interest at the beginning of the series is Renee, who ends up being the serial killer. So, and then it's just kind of like
that's too bad.
It stays on that track for a while. Yeah.
So let's talk about this finale.
Okay.
So I'm going to say this. I did not like this finale, but I did watch a random episode because Nicki had suggested, hey, maybe throw in a random episode.
Yeah, I think that you guys should definitely start doing that depending on the series, like watching something in the middle or like a couple random ones in the middle depending on...
I think moving forward what I'm going to do is I'm going to what's the total episode count, right? And then find the exact middle one.
Middle, or depending on it, doing like a third in and like 2/3 in, or something like that.
Just to have a little bit of context.
Yeah. So I watched season 5, episode 8. So it's a little bit later. It's kind of getting towards the end of the run.
Sure.
But I will say this: that episode felt more like what I remembered the show being, or like thinking it was, because from the start, there was kind of like I want to call it an orgy, but it was working its way towards an orgy at the beginning, like when they're in the band. Bill and Eric were like they looked like they were high on some sort of drug, and they're talking about Lilith, and like there's a line that says like they're talking about Lilith being God, and someone says God has the most beautiful tits I've ever seen.
That sounds very True Blood. Yes.
And then someone goes I need a baby. Lilith wants me to eat a baby. So like this felt very much, and then Joe Manganiello is like they're having like vampire sex and they're like tossing each other around. He and some other woman. Like, oh, this is what I expected this show to be. The finale is very much that.
God, it's so somber.
Yeah, it's like weirdly like I don't know. I didn't really understand what was so. I will say this.
God, how did you not understand the finale by only watching 2 other episodes?
But I want to say this. When we watched Walking Dead finale, I sat there and went, okay, like that wasn't great, but it was fine. And like, I could see how someone would feel satisfied by this. Like it felt like the show to me. It felt like what I thought. This thing was like weirdly, I'm trying to figure out a better word here, but it was like really like sexless and kind of conservative, and I don't mean that in a political way, but like in just a morally way. Like
it's kind of weirdly weirdly like bow tie everything, and it's just kind of
I 100% agree. Like that,
it's like far too happy an ending.
That
almost.
flash forward at the end with everybody sitting at the table. I was just like,
it's so corny.
This doesn't feel like True Blood at all. But I was like, fine, I'll accept it. Whatever. Like,
no, I mean that's fair. Like sometimes that's the way that these stories end. Like I don't know. I didn't feel overly lost, funny enough, watching it. Like I was kind of like, okay, I kind of get like.
Well, didn't I like kind of like?
Well, it's
cue you in on certain things.
I think you did like before we decided to do this. You told me a couple things about it, but like it explains kind of where we're like Bill is sick. Okay, Bill's sick. Like I know Bill's dying essentially, right?
Okay, is that what's so he's dying
because he's got weird black veins and he seems bummed out.
So there's something that happens,
which he usually does. But.
There's something that happens. I want to say how many episodes or how many seasons are there? 7?
7.
They mentioned Hep V a couple times.
So there's like Hep V.
Just kind of
like
icky, but.
But yeah, so it's something that kills the vampires, and it's something that doesn't affect the humans, but they can carry it and then pass it on to vampires.
So if you drink the blood of somebody with Hep V, you could get it and die.
Yeah, so Bill gets it from Sookie.
Because she's a carrier.
Yes, and I can't remember.
She's also a fairy. They mentioned that in the...
Yes.
So was the mind reading thing part of her fairy powers? Then I assume.
What's that?
The mind reading thing. That's part of her fairy.
They kind of set that up in the right. They don't set up the fairy part, but they set up that. I will give them this. They set that up right out of the gate, like you said. But like at least like by the end, I was like, okay, she's got powers. I accepted that because clearly that's evolved throughout the course of this show.
Is there a council of fairies at some point? Like...
So like she comes from fairy royalty, fae. I think they're part of the fays. So like fae royalty. Her great grandpa is like
Wait, is that Rutger Hauer?
Yes.
Yeah, Rutger Hauer plays her great grandfather. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Or great grandfather or something like that.
He's a fairy.
There is a fairy realm. But they go to like kind of like protect themselves and save themselves because like vampires, like they can smell like fairy blood.
Is that why Bill is so attracted to Sookie?
Yeah. Okay. And I don't think he realizes it because everybody thought that fairies were extinct. And then...
But he's into her.
He is. Yeah. And then like kind of like basically everybody is.
Because she's a fairy.
Because she is a fairy. But I don't think they realize it, like I said, because they're
drawn to her without knowing why they're drawn.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. And then
that's why.
And then later on, you know, more fairies end up coming out, and like she finds more fairies and blah blah blah. And then like, you know, there's a bunch of fairies that get slaughtered by some like totally like horny rage filled vampires who can't control themselves and just like annihilate.
So vampires like fairy blood.
Yes, they do. And it gives them powers as well. So they can walk in sunlight after drinking fairy blood for short periods of time.
Interesting.
So I have a Bill-related question. Bill and Sookie-related question here.
It's okay.
But so, like, I didn't fully grasp this, and this might not be the show's fault, the last episode, but, like, so she has to kill him.
She does not have to.
He wants her to kill him.
Yes. So, okay, so...
They're bound together by something?
So, if a vampire drinks a human's blood, they can sense that person. And like, so, like...
forever?
It's kind of hard. Like, they make it seem like that, but then there's times where... Then I think that it kind of does wear off, but it does last for a very long period of time. So, like, Bill knows when Sookie's in trouble. Okay. And he can sense it, and then he
drank her blood?
Because he drank her blood.
Okay. And she's cool with this. She's like, go ahead.
Yeah. So at first, I think she got beat up in a parking lot.
In the first episode.
Okay, that's what. Okay.
Does that happen again?
No. So he drinks her blood, or he gives her his blood. Okay. So maybe that's what it is.
But she doesn't become a vampire?
No. Because you have to drain the blood, feed vampire blood, and then you have to be buried overnight or like kind of like underground kind of thing or something like that. Yeah. Because I know, I think you kind of have to like be buried with the maker or something like that. Wow. Because then there's Bill does sire somebody like later on, Jessica. And
I caught that. There's a father-daughter thing between them.
Yeah.
He like hands her off.
That's Deborah and Wool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she accidentally like kind of like, because she wasn't really... Bill was forced to sire her. He didn't want to. And that was the first person he had ever sired in all of his years of being a vampire. And then
I was sitting there going like, is this his daughter? Like, what's going on?
In a vampire sense.
In the vampire sense. He did have like real children.
Yeah, he mentions that his daughter died.
There's a flashback in the episode I watched.
Oh, okay.
Where he's like wearing old-timey garb and stuff.
Yeah. And
is he still a bummer in that middle episode?
Yeah. I'm sure.
No, he's having more fun because he's hanging out with Eric.
Yeah.
Well, okay, yeah, because it's Lilith.
They're being bros.
It's Lilith, and then they're like kind of getting high on her blood.
Yes.
And the original vampire,
he's still not having as much fun as he should be, but he's like a little bit
loosening up a bit.
Yeah. He's weird in that's like his dark era.
Yeah, he gets mad when the dude is like talking about eating babies. He's like, ooh.
Where he should be like, yeah,
let's party.
Give me some of that baby.
Oh my god. But no, like Jessica like accidentally drains this guy of his blood, and she tries to save him, but like I don't know why it didn't work. I'm not totally sure, but there's
a process.
There is some sort of drinking and taking and giving of blood in a certain way, but it's not just so like vampires also their blood heals humans. And so that's why Bill gives Sookie his blood
when she's beat up.
When she's beat up, because that heals her so much.
Some of this
faster.
stuff rings true to like some of the vampire lore, because like a lot of the vampire like movies, stories, whatever. Mm-hmm. there's a lot of like they have to get bit, but the biting doesn't turn them into a vampire. It's the drinking the blood of the vampire, but they have to do it when they're like basically borderline dead.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of like similar to this.
Yeah.
But I didn't totally fully understand it, but I was just like, fine, whatever, I'll go with it.
Vampire lore is always interesting. And
but
weird.
so like back to the finale though, like Bill has Hep V, and this was the Hep V was created in a lab, and without
by the blonde girl that they're mad at.
By the blonde girl, and I guess the Yakuza.
Okay, so they are kind of like they're the Yakuza in the last episode, right?
But like only for like 10 minutes. Like that whole thing is over.
They do kind of come into play before that.
Right.
But like, so it was a Japanese company or whatever who created True Blood to begin with.
Yes.
And so that's why that is a thing.
Okay.
And then
they poison the True Blood with the Hep V?
They poison the True Blood.
Okay.
And then they're
talking about new blood. In the last episode.
That's the cure for the Hep V, I think.
Yeah, they didn't know that the blood was being poisoned, and then they got pissed because then they were losing out on all their profits.
Well, if you kill your vampires, then who's going to buy your blood?
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the blonde chick takes
the one from Pitch Perfect.
Yeah. Then she takes the antidote. And then they're trying to find her and everything.
At the end, like, oh, she swallowed all the antidote, but they're like they kept her alive, so that if you drink her blood, you're cured by. Yep. Okay.
So then, like, Bill has kind of like come to terms with the fact that he doesn't want to live any longer. So Eric gets Hep V first, and that's the end of season 6, I think.
Okay.
He is. Well, they drink a bunch of fairy blood, I think it is. And he ends up like taking off, and then the finale is him on a lawn chair on a snowy mountain in Sweden.
Okay.
And just naked, just laying out, and then you can see that like like the fairy blood or whatever this magic potion, I can't remember exactly, but is wearing off, and he's like in the middle of the mountains, and then he just kind of burns up, and then I was like, holy shit, did they just really kill Eric? And then you don't see him for like a few episodes, and I was like, fuck, did they really fucking killed him? And I was like, that makes sense, like maybe he wanted to leave at the end of season 6, like whatever. But he ends up traveling like the world trying to find an antidote. His sire Pam, who's helping run the nightclub,
she's in the end of she's the blonde vampire who's with him, like promoting. Yeah. She seems fun,
and she's been with him for like 100 years.
So did she have a relationship with Tara at some point?
Yes, she did.
Okay, because
they were romantically involved.
Yeah, she's very much a lesbian.
Yeah, because Anna Camp, she
tries to offer herself.
I'm gonna be a lesbian.
Anna Camp from Pittsburgh. She's like, oh, I'll be a lesbian if you turn me into a vampire.
Yeah, and she's like, no. I'm like,
and so
no,
was
bitch.
Anna Camp, was she like a Christian conservative type?
Yeah,
she's like
she was
evangelical.
Because like it seems like this may have been the other episode I watched. Like they try to what's the word I'm looking for? Like when you try to cure someone of their gayness.
Yeah.
Like,
what is that called?
Something stupid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
Though. Like they send them to camp and. Yep. Okay, so she's very much one of those types.
Yes, and then she in the finale too. She has a like a vision of her ex-husband.
That's the guy who visited her in the basement when she's chained up.
Oh, okay. So that is the last episode. Okay.
Yeah, and then that's her ex-husband. He is the main part of. I think it's called the Fellowship of the Sun. And they're just a crazy fucking couple.
Conversion therapy.
Yes. But yeah, no, they're both fucking nutty. But so Anna Camp has the cure because she was the one who created it or helped create it.
Okay.
And then
she created Hep V.
And then she drank the antidote because she's definitely like an opportunist, like the entire time. She goes, no, you can't kill me. I can do this for you. Yeah. No.
Yeah, she seems
you want
like
this person because that person, blah, blah, blah. She's like totally schemy and she's just like fun and bubbly. So she kind of gets away with it. But but Bill so Eric takes the antidote from her and then gets better. Because he had, gosh, I can't even remember like the storyline because he had Hep V at some point. And then whatever. But then Bill
he's got to get back to partying. He's got stuff to do.
Yeah. So, but then Bill gets Hep V from Anna Paquin. And so like I think it takes months for it to actually like you get the veins kind of thing.
Yeah, he's
and
got
it like
some
spreads.
Sort of,
but
thing.
like Bill gets it like his symptoms and he gets like they call it like stages, he gets to like stage 4 so much quicker because it's from fairy blood, so like kind of whatever.
Okay
and then he has the opportunity to get the cure and then he says no, he doesn't want it, and it's this big back and forth, and he's like I've been through so much, and they start doing more of his flashbacks.
Is this so?
Stuff.
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Is this whole Bill, like, I want to die thing, is this like a matter, does this happen over the course of like a few episodes, or is this like a season-long, like, Bill wants to die thing? Because if it's a season-long, that's a drag. Like, that sounds...
No,
Why does he have to go in a well? Like, he's very... Because, like, they go in a well or something. Or like
no, the
whole ordeal with this fucking guy. Like,
Yeah,
they
let's
just
just
kill you in the
fucking- let's
bathroom.
go.
Like, get it over with.
I think they do it
At least
like
I can mop you up afterwards.
they dug a grave.
Oh, so this is like the thing you were talking about earlier.
So he is from Bonton, and
Bonton. Okay.
And they dug his grave. So he actually has a grave already in Bonton, and it's next to his wife and his children.
Yeah, was it because he
died in the
war. They made a grave for he mentions this. Like there were empty graves for the soldiers who didn't come back.
So I
got that part.
So they basically just redug that grave. And then it's not a well.
Why has he got to make it such a theatrical thing?
Because he wants to be buried. Because he wants to be buried next to
about this guy.
his wife and his children.
I mean, but like you could just do that in like a Walmart, and then like
what about the light bulb?
You could wet vac him up and then just spew him into the.
Okay, so I was.
Let's get to the because there's a light ball. What is the light ball?
Oh yeah, I asked her to explain this.
Yeah.
I knew it was a fairy thing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what.
So Sucky is only half fairy.
Okay.
Half fae, and so.
But her Hep V still remains as powerful, or more so powerful than
some fairy.
Yes.
Okay.
So I guess that just like the delivery system of Hep V to a vamp is just like hightailed, but accelerated. But
yeah.
But so that light ball. Yes. I think like Great Grandpa Rucker.
Hell yeah. That's my dude.
Explains it.
Okay.
I think that
excuse me. Rucker Hauer has to explain what a light ball is.
He's fantastic at the show.
Send me this episode.
He's only in like a total of like I don't know like 3 to 6 episodes.
Those are the ones I'd watch.
Yeah.
But so
does he die? Or does he live in the fairyland forever? I like to think he lives.
They all do.
You know what? Don't answer.
Okay,
for me, he lives in the fairyland. Forever.
Okay, I won't answer.
Even if he dies, he does.
That's right.
But so I think he might give her the fairy ball, or he might just teach her how to harness it. I can't remember. There's like a particular moment, but because she's only half fairy, he said like you have this ball, and this is like your like atomic bomb. Like you could only use it once. Like this is like end all be all. So she does use her powers throughout the show
in smaller increments.
And it's like, and like when she's in high stress, at one point they fight this witch, and she doesn't even realize that she can do it. And then she's just like, stop it, and then she like kind of throws her hand up, and then she like throws this light ball, like this light energy, and it like throws them back, kind of thing.
But does it like drain her when she uses this stuff though? There's no physical.
I don't think so. No, they don't really play on that.
But if she uses this big bomb,
but if this big ball is used, then she loses all of her, like that harnesses all of her fairy magic. So then she is no longer a fae. She's just a human.
So that's why she's going on in that scene about, because I asked Nicki, I go, why is she going on about, she goes on and on about like, I can't do this. And then she just shoves a stake in his heart anyway. I was like, what is the significance of this ball?
Yeah.
And then when she explained it, I was like, okay. So when Anna Paquin, when Suke is talking about like, this is part of me too, just like you are and my parents and all that stuff. She doesn't want to lose her fairy magic.
Yes.
She doesn't want to waste it on Bill's dumbass.
Yeah, she's doesn't want to just
You're
waste
the stake,
it.
bitch.
Yeah.
Like
Like when like she has other options. Like that's like the last.
Did he?
Yeah.
It didn't seem like he had a preference. He just wanted her to be the
No,
one.
he just wanted to die. He was just at
she,
peace.
She should have just gone with that from the get-go.
Yeah.
She breaks a
Well,
shovel in half.
I think he just wanted to make it easier for her. Like, just use your fairy magic. Like, and then it's less messy. You can do it from afar.
Typical man trying to control a woman's destiny.
Yeah. He might not have realized.
Classic Bill.
Man, yeah. Being a real Bill right now. All right, so I probably got about 10 minutes left.
Yeah.
So I want to. There's one thing. There's one like big plot line in this finale that I want to talk about. We have not really even touched on yet. So is it Jessica?
Yeah.
So Jessica and Hoyt are getting married. Okay. So I want to ask this though, because in season 5, episode 8 that I watched, Hoyt is going to like they're peer pressuring him into like. They've got Jessica in the basement, and like they're like, "You got to murder this bee," but they don't say it. I'm just being polite here. I don't want to be.
And she's a vampire at this point.
So she's a vampire. Okay. And they're like, "You got to murder," her. And then I think I left off, or like I don't know if we see what happens. I can't.
He didn't make a decision.
He obviously didn't kill her. Yeah. But then so they wipe his mind at some point. And then, like, during the final episode...
okay,
like,
I know which episode you're talking about.
We've only known each other, or, like, he only remembers me from, like, a day ago. What the fuck are they talking about? So why is she marrying this fucking guy?
Okay, so Jessica and
This
Hoyt...
wedding is far too much of this goddamn finale, though.
Yeah.
It goes on and on. It's like the Deer Hunter.
Yeah, it definitely should have been, like, the pre-finale or something like that. Yes. Like, but, okay, so Jessica and Hoyt were together. Like, so Jessica
before she was a vampire?
No, but before Jessica was a vampire, she was in like an ultra Christian household. Okay. She actually goes back to her house. You never see her family, but like until after she turns into a vampire, and the dad is just like you could tell was just gonna like knock her around and stuff. And so then they're like, Anna Paquin takes her there after she's turned into a vampire, and then. Just because she thinks that, like, Jessica's really upset because, like, I'm never going to see my family again. I need to say goodbye. Or let me just see them just to make sure they're okay. And then she ends up going into the house and blah, blah, like, going up to the door and this big thing. But, so, like, she came from, like, one of those abusive religious households. Sure. Whatever. So, but then she ends up falling in love with Hoyt. Hoyt and Jason are best friends. Since high school or like since childhood. Yeah. Also, fun fact: Sheriff Andy and Hoyt are cousins.
Naturally,
just to like the
South.
But so then
everybody knows each other.
Hey, to our listeners in the South,
like small towns. Small towns. Yeah. Everybody's got a cousin somewhere.
Not the South, but like small.
No, I'm not.
Towns.
So I'm the so I'm not. I made the leap there. Anyway, continue. I can edit. I've got the editing power.
but so Jessica and Hoyt are together. That's her first relationship ever. She's like super into him. Hoyt's mom is also super religious. Hates vampires. All this. She's just.
Yeah, but so this does play into what I was thinking about earlier when I was talking about like how the vampires may represent the gay community or.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. And like there's a lot of people that are very much like, intolerant of them. And so they're together. They like move in together finally, and like Hoyt's finally gonna stand up to his mama, and then she ends up feeling kind of smothered or whatever, and then her and Jason sleep together, or like she's.
Most women on this show sleep with Jason at some point.
I can't. It's more complicated than that because like Jason gets hurt and then he has to drink her blood, and then also another thing that happens is that you're connected to that vampire when you drink their blood to heal you or something like that.
Okay.
But also though, and Jason has also had like, I think Eric's blood at some point in the show, but it gives you like sexual fantasies about them. So you dream like you're like very.
So Jason dream bangs Eric at some point. Okay.
Yeah, and you
this sounds like True Blood to me.
And you do get to see some of it, like in his like dream, but like so he is very much
so, like the finale, like
drawn to
nothing
Jessica.
like this,
No,
like what we're talking about now. Because I'm sitting there like, what the fuck happened to this show? I thought this was like I thought it was gonna get some weird,
it's got lame as shit,
like a hardy apocalypse, and I get like I get a wedding
and
a barbecue.
So like all of this happens, and then like Jessica and Hoyt break up. She sleeps with Jason. Jason has guilt, tells Hoyt. Hoyt loses his mind. And then he joins some sort of like kind of almost like KKK kind of
Proud
group.
Boys type thing?
Yeah, where like they're like, let's kill all the soups because they're not just against vamps, they're against
joined?
all
I'm sorry,
soups.
Hoyt joined?
Hoyt did for like a really short period of time, but then he was
breakups are a bitch.
and then right, and then he was just like,
who among us?
You broke my heart.
We've all joined a hate group at some point, right?
After a bad breakup.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like it gets real dramatic, but he doesn't want to kill her, even though these guys do want to kill like everybody, blah, blah, blah. So he begs Jessica to erase his mind.
So that's what Tim jumped in on then.
Yeah.
Was when he was when he had joined the group.
They were she was locked up in the basement and blah, blah, blah. But he seemed resistant because he was just like, well, I'm pissed at her and I hate her. But, like, I don't want her dead.
Right. He was just upset. Kind of he's a good guy.
Yeah. And so then he begs Jessica to erase his mind, like, glamour him to forgetting.
Because he doesn't want to do the work of, like...
of just, like, getting over his feelings and stuff. And his heartbreak,
He doesn't want to make up for the fact that he doesn't want to...
He
really disliking Hoyt right now.
He can't afford therapy.
Fair enough.
And so he begs Jessica to have him forget her and Jason.
Okay.
And which is like breaks Jason's heart, blah, blah, blah. So he moves to Alaska to work on, I don't know, like a ship or a boat or something. And he comes back with a chick. And like, you know, you don't see him for a season or something like that.
That's the girl that Jason winds up also having sex with.
That's the guy that Jason ends up with.
This guy rules.
Jason has become my favorite character.
Him and Eric are my dudes.
Just a layabout living off his high school days, but like still making it work.
When he's not having sex, he's fantasizing about having sex. Sometimes with other dudes. Whatever.
Yep. But yeah,
Jason rules.
So Hoyt comes back, can't remember Jessica, but he's like still drawn to her. Okay. So they're obviously meant to be. And then Jason is like really fighting his feelings about the friend, and he was trying to be really cool about it. He's like, I can't do this to Hoyt again. But even though he did, like, you know, whatever, there was growth with Jason overall.
I mean, it seems like at the end of the show, he seems happy.
Yeah.
He's got children. He's helping his wife out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's probably not cheating on her.
Yeah, probably not. Or not on a regular basis.
Hey. Well, who knows? He can just like think about it. Like he has a very vivid imagination.
That's right.
He just like
he's drank some vampire blood. He can just fantasize about whoever he wants.
Yeah.
This, great show.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I also love Willie. Real fast. He was just like, and there's werepanthers.
Dude, I was like, there's no way me and Tim don't both bring this up. Can you just quickly? We don't have a lot of time here.
Yeah.
Sorry,
quickly.
the reaction Willie and I had when you like reminded us, like
that blew my mind.
Okay, so let's
I
just
asked
talk
Nicki
about...
2 questions. I said, can you please explain to me the fairy ball?
Yeah.
And what are the werepanthers?
Let's just talk about...
Do we see a werepanther in the show?
Yes.
Is it like a character that like is recurring? Do they get to be a werepanther multiple times throughout the show?
I feel like it's like, so there's like wolf packs and stuff like so like
the panther packs.
There is a panther pack, I think, but I can't remember. I can't remember if there was like. I don't think it's a recurring character. I think it's like a group of people that kind of come in.
Oh, that's so cool.
But I could be wrong.
Okay.
So just like talking about all the creatures out there. There are vampires.
Yeah.
There are werewolves.
Sure.
There are fairies.
Yeah.
There are shapeshifters.
Okay.
Like Sam, the bar owner, he is a shapeshifter.
There you have it.
Dane DeHaan plays a werepanther.
Oh my God.
Who?
Dane DeHaan. He was in the Spider-Man 2.
Can you?
Wait.
You've got a lot of homework.
What's his character's name? Can you tell me?
You've got a lot of homework to do. I need you to...
Timbo? Excuse me, Timbo? T-I-M-B-O.
Does he have a last name?
No, it just says Timbo Werepanther.
Okay.
So maybe his last name is Werepanther. It seems like he's kind of cursed.
I need you to send me the Rutger
is.
Hauer episodes and then the Werepanther episodes, please.
You can just IMDb Rutger Hauer and then
I'd like for you to do this.
All right, I will.
Thank you.
I will. Yeah. Then there's Werepanthers, there's werewolves, there are shapeshifters. There's
witches.
There's witches.
Are there ghosts?
There's a medium.
Okay.
So Lafayette is a medium.
Oh god, that's fucking perfect.
And also he doesn't really realize his powers, but he has a boyfriend who
okay.
I feel like was like Native American, and so then like he takes him to his Native American his tribe kind of thing. And then they do some sort of ceremony or give him like peyote or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
And it kind of brings it out. And then all of a sudden he's just like, holy shit,
like
I
Aaron
can
Rodgers.
see fucking like dead people. So yes. So there, I guess there are ghosts.
Sick.
And then Sookie sees like a spirit at one point. I think it's Rutger Hauer.
All right.
Coming to
demons?
save
Are
her.
there demons in the show?
So, no. But there is. So then Rutger Hauer is there for Sookie because there is a fairy that has, or there's a vampire fairy, like hybrid.
Oh shit!
And who is like destined to marry Sookie from like the royal line or whatever.
Maybe that's her husband at the end of the show.
No, it's not. He dies. Spoiler alert.
All right,
no,
we gotta
he's
go.
a bad guy.
But I have one more question to ask you, Nikki, because you've seen the entirety of the show. This is for Nikki specifically. Best boobs on the show.
Oh, best boobs.
This is where the money's at. This is True Blood.
Man. Okay,
boobs
so there is one.
Yeah, I'm gonna say boobs and butts. Is what
Okay.
I'm getting there.
Okay, so I will say that one of the girls that Jason bangs, I think she's
Where she's going with this? It's the clip that we've watched.
So it's the one that's from the
Mean Girls.
Lizzie Kaplan
from Mean Girls.
Hold on. No, I just need.
We are horrible people.
Yes, Lizzie Kaplan. No,
they are insane.
We are appreciators
they
of
are
the human form.
They're insane.
They are so good.
When you look up breasts in the dictionary, it's just a shot of that scene.
Yes, Lizzie Kaplan.
It's ridiculous.
Yep, I will say she has the best.
Thank you, Nikki, for being on this episode. This is amazing.
You
want you so you can soften the blow of Willie and I just like going,
be like dirty dogs and boobs.
All right, and now a little something for the ladies and some of the gents out there too. Best butt.
Oh gosh,
best man butt. I want to hear man butt, not girl butt.
Yeah. No,
she knows what I mean.
My mind goes right to man butt.
Did they hang dong ever in True Blood? Do you ever see any dick?
You do see Skarsgård. She showed me his dong.
It's from far away. Isn't that the one
it's
where
the scene where he wakes up in Sweden and
on the mountaintop?
Oh, so he's so would you rather see butt or dick?
No. There's not a debate. You like a butt, right?
I do, but I also just really love to like. Okay, so like I've had this.
You like the rarity of a penis.
I do. I like the rarity of a penis.
Okay,
so okay, so I've had this kind of mindset for a very long time, like that. If
this could be a revelation, what's going on?
I don't know. We'll see. But like nudity, male, female, if they're willing to like just put it out there, I want to see it. Like I just want to like I mean,
you want to appreciate their sacrifice.
Yeah, let me take a look, like at what you got.
Yeah.
But like I remember, but yeah. So I will say like Skarsgård butt and Maginello butt.
Yeah.
Who's got the better butt though? You gotta pick one.
I would say Maginello.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
From what I saw, I wouldn't argue.
It's tanner. It's a little bit juicier. He does more squats than Skarsgård does, but I still appreciate the Skarsgård form very much. The tall, skinny, that does it for me.
Beautiful.
But yeah, so like I would just like anybody who's willing to show it, like I'll give it a glance.
I love it.
Yeah.
Nikki, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
What an absolute delight this was. I wasn't sure how this was going to go. because like this is a weird format to talk about.
It's a very strange format.
So thank you for that.
I was trying to stay as focused as I could.
You did wonderful.
I have my ADHD mind and all of it. Yeah. So
you kept us focused. We would have been talking about Lizzie Kaplan for an hour and a half, if not for you. Next time around, Tim, we are going to be doing. I believe we just discussed this. We're going to be doing Alien Romulus.
Yeah, let's do Romulus. Yeah.
So yeah, I've been wanting to watch it. When wanted to see it in the theater, we almost went and saw it in the theater. We didn't see it in the theater. I want to watch it, so I'm excited. Alien Romulus next time. We haven't talked about Alien in a while, so I'm pumped about that.
It's going to be a less horny episode than this one.
Yeah, I've heard. Yes,
That's sad.
You have seen.
I won't be on the next episode.
Screw this movie.
Give me let me see how a rewatch goes. Maybe I'll get all randy about a xenomorph.
I don't know. You have seen this once. Mm-hmm. I have not seen it at all. So cool, awesome.
All right,
check it out.
Stay scared, everybody.
Bye.